Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, a journey to self-realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently exploring Srimad Bhagavad Gita, commentaries by my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. Currently, we are on the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, Moksha Sannyas Yoga, the yoga of liberation and renunciation. We are on shloka number 24. Lord Krishna continues, Yattu kamepsuna karma saham karane karena va punaha kriyate bahulayasam tadrajasamudahritam. The action that is performed with the expectation of fruit, with egoism, with the sense of I am the doer, I did it, it was me who thought of the idea, etc. And with great exertion, lot of effort went into it. That action is called Rajasic. So most worldly actions fall in that category. God says, Shloka number 25, Anubandham Kshayam Hinsam Anevekshya cha Paurusham Mohadarabhyate Karma Yattamasamuchyate. The action that is undertaken on the basis of delusion without taking into consideration its painful consequences, without any regard to the loss and injury that is involved with it, and also without any regard to one's capacity, is called tamasic, which means again tamas is when the intellect stops working, which means we do things in a very deluded, haphazard manner, inconsistent way. Just like when we are under the influence of alcohol, we cannot think properly. Our speech gets slurred, and our mental faculties get all confused. So this is what God is saying. In a state of tamas, in a state of delusion, then a person takes actions quickly without even realizing how painful the outcome would be, and what are the consequences of the actions, etc. And also he doesn't consider his own capacity. Can he do it? Does he have the ability, the skill set? Whereas most wise people first analyze their strength, they look at the project, they look at the strengths, and then they gather the knowledge in order to do the project. But tamasic people are not in that state at all. So next shloka 26, Mukta Sango Anaham Vadi Dhrityutsaha Samanvitaha Siddhaya Siddhayo Nirvikaraha Karta Satvika Uchyate. He who does not desire the fruits of his actions, who is free of the sense of doership, is endowed with patience and perseverance, and is ever unaffected by success and failure, he is called a sattvic doer. So, those people who are seeking enlightenment or the journey to liberation and are serious aspirants should always try to maximize their sattva, always do selfless service, devotion, or meditation, or study of scriptures, and in satsang. These are the fast, effective ways in today's world to stay in sattva. Avoid bad company, avoid time wasting activities, avoid activities that would create passion and excitement in our lives and throw us off our sadhana. That's what is meant here by sattvic people. They are doing their things, they are not attached to the fruits, or they don't have ego, they don't say I did it, they don't want a lot of credit. They continue to guide others, to help others with whatever they know, and they are endowed with lots of patience and perseverance. They will continue to work hard to help others and answer patiently any questions that may keep coming up. where there is lack of clarity. So it is ever, they are not affected by whether they succeed or fail, as long as they have done their best. They are ever contented, and they sleep like a baby on their pillow as if their head is in God's lap, and they have not a worry in the world. Even though they may be poor financially, they may not have all the success, but internally they are richer than a king. That is their state, because it comes as a blessing from God for their sattva creates light, and when there is light, there is no darkness. When there is no darkness, no rajas, no tamas, obviously. So may that be the state of all of us. That is a very blissful and a very high state. So next shloka, number 27. Ragi karma phalagrepyo surlabdho hinsatmako shuchihi harsha shokanvitah karta rajasah parikirtitah. He who is passionate, desirous of the fruits of action, greedy, inclined to violence, impure, and who is swayed by elation and grief is said to be a doer of rajasic activities. So, passionate meaning too much sexual excitement, too much impulse of perverted thinking, and always wanting the fruits of action, um, results. If it doesn't happen their way, then they don't like it, they like to cheat the system, etc. Full of they are inclined to violence to achieve their ends, and also impure, unethical also. So such people are called rajasic people, although there are plenty of rajasic people who may be doing things the proper way, the right way, in an ethical manner, but still there are again levels of being rajasic. Some are at any cost, they want to do things to their end. Some are within means, they do it properly, they earn the money, but yet they are always in the worldly realm. So therefore they are also rajasic. Sattvic people are people who are in purity and who want their life to be meaningful and happy, joyful, and with spirituality being the key pillar, key support for them. So here, this is what God is saying in this shloka. So avoid passion or give up the fruits of action if you don't want to be rajasic, and stay away from violence and impure thoughts. Shloka number 28. Ayuktah prakratah stabdah shathau nashkriti kolasah vishadhi dirghasutri cha karta tamas uchyate. He who is careless, vulgar, conceited, arrogant, lazy, despondent, and procrastinating, such a doer is tamasic in nature. So very clear, God is giving us very clear guidelines of what to avoid if we don't want to be tamasic. So don't be careless, don't be vulgar or conceited or arrogant or lazy, and don't procrastinate. Do the things that need to be done promptly and efficiently. Another thing I wanted to tell you is I'm chanting all these shlokas in Sanskrit first in deep detail, and then we are explaining the meaning. So even though you may not understand the Sanskrit shloka, just listening to it is purifying your inner consciousness. Why? Because these shlokas have been chanted in the original language. This is how Bhagavad Gita was originally written thousands of years ago, and so many saints, sages, and prophets, philosophers, they have chanted it again and again. So many sages have meditated on it, that these Sanskrit, just even looking at these shlokas is helpful. But when we chant them, and when you listen to them with full faith, with your hands folded and with full attention, you are getting the benefit of the power of the shlokas. Therefore, even if you don't understand it, you are still benefiting by just listening to them. And therefore, I just wanted to make that point clear. That is why we are chanting every shloka in Sanskrit and then explaining the meaning also. So enjoy the chant as much as you do the English meaning with it. So here God is explaining this. Moving on to shloka number 29. बुद्धेर्भेदं धृतेश्चैव गुणतस्त्रिविधं शृणु प्रोच्यमानमशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय. O Arjuna, now listen to the threefold distinctions of the intellect as well as of steadfastness in accordance with the three gunas. I shall explain them to you fully and separately. See how compassionate God is, like a loving father, mother, are everything. He's guiding us, holding our finger and showing us the way on what should we do to cross this ocean of the world process. So now he's saying, listen to the three distinctions of the intellect. So first he was talking about the knowledge itself, then the action doer. Now he's coming to the intellect level, buddhi. It's known as buddhi in Sanskrit, intellect. So, what are the distinctions? And because if our intellect is purified, intellect is like the chariot driver, the senses are the mind, and the reins, and the horses are the senses. So, um, senses are the horses, the reins is the mind, and the intellect is the chariot driver. So all the reins and the horses are under the control of the chariot driver. Now, suppose the chariot driver is drunk, the chariot will have an accident, fall in a ditch, the horses will run away, the life will become miserable. So, this is why intellect has to be properly dealt with and understood. And so, we will continue this from shloka number 30 in tomorrow's satsang. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Hari Om Tat Sat.